Hello, welcome to my channel. This is Achieve underscore Doctor's channel. If you are watching me on YouTube, if you are watching me on TikTok, this is Achieve underscore Doctor's, Instagram Achieve underscore Doctor. My platform is basically to inspire, motivate, and encourage people who feel hopelessness. Today, I am going to share my story about how I joined the British Army. So far, I've served for about 5 years, and I'm going to share my experience, what I've enjoyed in the Army so far, and things that I like about the Army and things that I do not like. First and foremost, if you've not subscribed to this channel, kindly subscribe to this channel, comment, and like. If you're watching me on TikTok, it's Achieve underscore Doctor. Joining the Army has been my dream. When I was very young, I was named after a medical doctor who was also serving in the Ghana Armed Forces. He was a physician, and he was the physician to the former president, Jerry John Rawlings, JJ, popularly known. So him being my grandfather, I was always inspired to also take his lead, and as a soldier, I was admire, and I always cherished to be like him. Growing up, I lived in Kumasi most of my years. I was born in Krofrom in Ashanti region, and later in my teens we moved down to Pankrono Team. That's where I stayed before leaving Ghana. I schooled in King's International from primary all the way to JSS, and I attended Kumasi Technical Institute. From there, I went on to Sunyani Polytechnic to pursue higher national diploma in mechanical engineering. After that, I did my 2-year top-up, and I gained my first degree in mechanical engineering, specializing in plant operations. Fast forward, it had always been a dream to join the Ghana Army, of which back in 2016, 2017, I applied to join the Ghana Army. I bought the forms, tried going through the process, and unfortunately on the D-Day of enlistment, I couldn't join the Ghana Army with the excuse of being that my height wasn't meeting the requirement. Also, I had a squid eye, which to them, they said it does not qualify one to be in the Ghana Army. It was so sad. And the most ridiculous thing that happened was that after I was being rejected, they demanded that I pay a bribe of about 80,000 Ghana cedis as at then 2016, 80,000 Ghana cedis, which I couldn't afford. Hence, I shut that dreams. I moved on in life, and fortunately for me, my senior brother who was in the UK told me that he was about to graduate from uni, and hence he wanted me to attend his graduation ceremony. So he then contacted me and sent me an invitation to come to the UK. And fortunately, I applied the army on I applied for my visa on my own without any assistance. I had done a couple of readings on the government website. That was the gov.uk, read about the requirement. As I was a student, at the same time, I was into, a little business that I was doing for myself. I used to travel to Nigeria, Togo, purchase some groceries, come back to Ghana and sell. So with that bank statement that I had, I was able to support my visa application with it. And after 21 days of making the application, I had the message that my documents were ready for collection. And I was so nervous about it because then I didn't know any process, because no one advised me, no one taught me how to do it. So I just jumped into the bus, went to Accra, Movenpick, and I took my passport, thinking that getting your visa comes with a whole bunch of documents. I didn't know it was just a mere, sticker that was going to be in your passport, and basically that's it. So after I took the passport in Movenpick, and it was in a small bag, like a gray bag, and I thought I wasn't given the visa. So I went down to Movenpick Hotel, sat around the pool, And I saw a group of people who were also talking about their visas being rejected. So I thought literally it's the same because they also came with for their passport. So as I was scrolling through the passport, there was a big wind that blew and it blew my passport. So I had to quickly grab the passport because it was going to fall into the pool. And upon grabbing, then I felt something quite smooth in the passport. I was like, what's it? Then I opened and there I saw there was a sticker. And I read, I'm like, what? So this is the visa. Honestly, I couldn't hide my enjoyment or my happiness and, the shock people could see, and I started screaming. Then my girlfriend was the first person I called, not even my parents. Why? Because my girlfriend had given birth exactly about 15 days prior to me getting the visa. So I called just to share the excitement. It was very great, and that was how I got my visa to come to the UK. So after getting the visa, I then had to prepare to come to the UK. Remember, I had not planned to join the British Army, but right after that, I started having the discussion with my senior brother, who I was coming for his graduation, about possibility of getting something better to do for myself in the UK. And yes, it was quite a lengthy discussion that we had, and what happened was that I then had to find ways to buy my ticket, and I bought my ticket and flew from Ghana on the 22nd of June. I'm sorry, on the 22nd of July 2019, and that was exactly 30 days my girlfriend then had given birth, or had my set of twins. So it was a sad moment leaving these two kids back home to come to the UK. I got to the UK on the 23rd of July 2019, and at the airport also, it was quite a smooth process going through immigration, which I was asked a few questions and I was given the stamp of entry, got to the UK, and this is where it all began. This is where the journey of joining the British Army began, on the first day of arrival in the UK. After I was able to go through the immigration questions with the border force, I landed at the Gatwick. I landed at the London City Airport, and upon coming out of the airport, the first thing I saw was a London bus branded with the British Army recruitment. So it had quickly drawn my attention as to joining the army, as back home in Ghana, I've always, wanted to be in the army, and now I've seen that they are recruiting. Well, I just pictured that in my mind, and when my brother came to pick me up, we quickly had a discussion onto that. By then, when I was coming, I was, really, really quite having so much body weight. I'll put in this, I was really fat, and I was weighing 120 kg as at then. So I had a discussion with my brother, and I was telling him that, bro, yeah, I would like to join the army. We make laugh of it, like, you look at how big your belly is and you want to join the army, a whole lot. We had a bit of fun. So my brother quickly drove us straight to the Northampton town center, where he wanted to have a haircut prior to his graduation. And I was also to wait a little bit. And upon waiting, I saw the Army Career Center also, which I took the opportunity, took my passport, went into the Army Career Center, and I told them that, my name is Owusu Ajekum, and I would like to join the British Army. Well, I was, welcomed, and it was like I was in a new environment, a new earth. I was like I was in a new planet on its own, because back in Ghana, it wasn't easy to enter such offices where you feel so much welcome. Honestly speaking, I was so much welcome in that office. So the officer initially asked me my name. I said my name, my age, and he asked of my nationality, and I said I'm a Ghanaian. So he just asked me, why do you want to join the army? I explained a little bit of it, and he asked me, how long have you been in the UK? That was a big question to me, and that got me scared. I was thinking, was I to lie and get my way through or tell him the truth? I was like, okay, well, I'll tell him the truth. And I said, yes, I've just been in the country for barely only 2 hours. And it's like, what? So I was like, have I said anything wrong? And he could see clearly from my face, like, no, don't worry, don't worry. I'm so surprised that you just entered the country and you want to join the army. That means you are determined. He took me, he said, come along, man. So he could see that there was a shock. And he's like, okay, do you want a cup of tea? That wasn't exactly what he said. He said, do you want a cup? I'm like, what? The accent was quite heavy for me. I couldn't understand what he was saying much. He's like, do you want a cup? I'm like, no. Like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah. He's like, are you okay? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm okay. He took me to his office, sat on his computer, and he logged onto the Army website. That is the apply.army.mod.uk. And he said, yeah, put in your details and register or create an account. As I sat on the computer, I was really shivering. I was like, he could see the shock, because I was thinking, where am I? Am I at the right place? Am I doing the right thing? Because back in Ghana, you wouldn't get this experience. It's not easy to get to these offices and you feel welcome, where you'll be given an opportunity for free. It wasn't, yes, it's 100% fact. So him allowing me to sit right on his desk, filling up the form, honestly, it was a privilege. So I started filling up the form, and it got to a stage where they asked, how long have you been in the UK? And that was where I got stuck. So upon getting there, he then said, okay, we got only years and days. So we need to fill in the number of years you've lived in the country and the number of days. Moreover, I've not even been in the country for more than 1 day. It's just barely 2 hours. This officer then picked up his phone, called a certain number, and it was on loudspeaker. And he said, we have this gentleman from Ghana who has been in the country for only 2 hours, and he's wanting to join the British Army. And I could see he's very determined. But this is a situation where he is to put his details. It got only years and days, but he's just been in the country for hours. What can we do? Then they said, yeah, get his email address, send it over, and we are going to send him a link to apply for the army. I'll be honest, as I went down the office and sat in the car, my brother's car, he was waiting. Trust me, what happened? I got the email to continue my application. And I was like, what a country, what a nation, what opportunity is coming in my way. Something that I've been wanting for years is just right on my feet. I never knew these were there. That was where the application started. If you are enjoying this storyline, I'll kindly ask you to subscribe to this channel, comment, and I am going to bring you the next part of how I joined the army. This is Achieve_Doctor. Follow me for more. TikTok is Achieve_Doctor. Snapchat Achieve_Doctor. Instagram is Achieve_Doctor. Thank you and see you again.